Hi, my name is Kelsey, and my project is on hypothyroidism. Before I get started, I just want to let you know I'm coming off of a cold, so don't mind if I'm coughing or drinking from my water. Okay. Before I get started, I wanted to talk about the thyroid in general. It is a small butterfly-shaped gland at the base of your neck, just below your Adam's apple. And the thyroid is responsible for producing T3 and T4 hormone, which regulate your metabolism. So people with hypothyroidism, their thyroid gland fails to produce T3 and T4, so it results in a slower metabolism, so the person is more susceptible to gaining weight much quicker than a person without hypothyroidism. And this is opposed to hyperthyroidism, where their metabolism is too fast, so they lose weight way quicker than a person without hypothyroidism or hyperthyroidism. The thyroid is also responsible for maintaining body weight and regulating heart rate. So, hypothyroidism primarily occurs in people over 50, and it's most common in women, and it increases with one's age. So, constant stimulation of your thyroid gland to release more hormones leads to an enlarged thyroid, also known as a goiter. So, a picture of that is at the bottom right with the lady, and that's just an example of what a goiter looks like. So, a second hypothyroidism or advanced hypothyroidism is known as edema. Sorry, don't really know how to pronounce it, but it's a rare disease, and it when it occurs, it can be life-threatening. And then I wanted to talk about this before I go into the symptoms. Hypothyroidism is on a continuum or scale, so you can either have light, moderate, or severe hypothyroidism. So all of the symptoms depend on the severity of the hormone deficiency. And typically, problems occur slowly over a number of years. So, for signs and symptoms of hypothyroidism, there are a couple. Some of them being cognitive impairment, hair loss, extreme fatigue, weight gain, shortness of breath, bradycardia, intolerance to cold, dry skin, and mental health issues. Mental health issues are probably the biggest sign and symptom, so many people with hypothyroidism experience depression, memory loss, and confusion. For treatment, there's two types. So the most typical treatment for hypothyroidism is medication. So some of the medications either target T3 hormone or T4 hormone, and some target both. So the most typical one is Synthroid, which targets T4 hormone, or the combo Biotrix, Euthyroid, or Thyrola. And then the second treatment is surgery, so removing a large portion of your thyroid, which can help diminish or halt hormone production. So the lady on the right just went through thyroid removal surgery, and I just wanted to put a picture showing where they remove it and her scar. It's a slight scar, and research says it should dissipate between 6 to 8 weeks. So, my client wanted to remain anonymous, but she is 62 years old, she's a female, and she's 5'6", 156 pounds, which makes her BMI 25.2. This puts her in the overweight category, however, she's just slightly overweight. and her resting blood pressure is 131/86, which puts her in the pre-hypertension category. As for family history, she didn't report much. She just said that her parents were smokers. However, she's never smoked a cigarette in her life, she said. For hypertension, diabetes, and dyslipidemia, she reports not having it, nor negative risk factors. What she did report is her medications that she takes and her physical activity. So she says she takes 50 mcg for her hypothyroidism. She takes 25 mg for her blood pressure and 2,000 units of vitamin D. For physical activity, she told me she walks her dog 3 times a day, 10 to 15 minutes. She also walks to the mailbox every day, which is 10 minutes from her townhouse. So she's slightly physically active. Some of her goals are to become more active, lose weight, and lower her energy intake while increasing her energy output. Some of the challenges she faces, along with many people who experience hypothyroidism, are she tries to eat healthy and engage in physical activity, exercise. However, her effort isn't matching up to the results she sees. So for exercise testing, I said it wasn't needed because of the exercise program only containing low to moderate intensity. However, if I was to perform an exercise test, I would have her perform a Cooper 12-minute walk test because it mimics activities she would be doing in her daily life. Also, I would compare her before and after results, so I would administer the tests before the exercise program started, and then again after 6 weeks to see if she had any drastic improvements. So for the exercise prescription, I would start her off 3 to 4 times a week at low to moderate intensity, so 60% of her maximum heart rate. I would bump up her time to 25 to 30 minutes as opposed to her 10 to 15 minutes as right now. And I would have her walking to a slow jog. And then after 6 weeks, I would gradually increase her frequency, intensity, and time, but not all at once. I would start with the frequency and have her increase to 4 to 6 times a week, and then I would increase her intensity to just moderate at 70 to 75% of her max heart rate, and then I would increase her time to 40 to 45 minutes per day. And then again, I would have her walking or jogging because that is what she said she was most comfortable with. Okay, as for special considerations or precautions, I would say to just be mindful that they're not exceeding their target heart rate. So first, let's go back. I wouldn't have her exceed her 60% of her max heart rate, and then again in 6 weeks, I wouldn't have her exceed her 70 to 75% max heart rate. I would also not have her work in a cold environment because people with hypothyroidism are very sensitive to the cold. In addition, I would look for signs and symptoms of fatigue, confusion, and shortness of breath. I would also ask the client how they were feeling before, during, and after their exercise program. And additionally, I would make sure that they are well hydrated, like the lady in the picture. So, in conclusion, after 6 months of following this exercise program, her arteries should improve, her cholesterol, as well as her LDLs, her triglyceride levels, should also all lower. She should see a slight reduction in weight. as well as improvements in cardiovascular health. Some additional benefits would be an improved overall health and quality of life, along with an improvement in her mental health. So emotionally, physically, and mentally, she should all be improving within 6 months from doing this exercise program. And then lastly, by doing this program, she should have more energy to perform daily tasks. Okay, and then some of my references. I've had 3 from different journals, so the one being European Journal of Endocrinology, the second one was the New England Journal of Medicine, and the third was the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism, and then 3 websites, so Mayo Clinic, thyroid.org, and Livestrong. Specifically, thyroid.org has a lot of articles and information about the disease itself. And as for Livestrong, it has a lot of exercise and diet routines for people with hypothyroidism, which are super important and really help them with their disease as well. And then I just wanted to go back to her goals and her challenges, and really just say that if they still aren't seeing improvements and they're doing everything they can as far as diet, lifestyle changes, and exercise, they should really consult their healthcare professional just to get it checked out and see if they have any additional diseases or if they need to take more or less medications. And that's it. That's all I have.